Hello everybody, today I'm going to be filming another instalment to my New Zealand diary. If you haven't already seen the other three, then I will link the playlist up here, I think, and go and click on that and watch them if you haven't already seen them. Basically, I'm reading through a diary that I wrote when I went to New Zealand like 4 or 5 years ago, and it's actually quite interesting for me to read through it, so I hope you enjoy the video and just watch it. And I also hit 900 subscribers the other day and I'm literally so happy. I just like the number 9. That just looks like a good number, really. This video will be going up next weekend, so I don't know how many subscribers I'll have then, but I'm very happy about the subscribers. And I will do a giveaway when I get to 1k. Gonna be doing a giveaway. It won't be very big, it'll be small because I don't have much money. So if you recall, I finished off talking about what features were on the campsite that we went to. So we were on a campsite at this point. So the next day at the campsite, so this is on the campsite obviously. So me and Ella got up at about 11:30 and we went for a shower. The showers are okay, but I got half of my stuff wet. After we had a clean, Shane drove off with us to a dump station where you put all the poo and wee. So I don't know whether it's actually called a dump station or whether we just called it that, but that's where we emptied all of the waste from the van. Uncle Shane nearly died cleaning it out because it stank so much. Right, that's funny, I'm sorry. We went off to go to a cafe, but Shane cooked some bacon, beans and scrambled egg instead. So obviously I can't really remember this, but I think I think I do remember it. Oh my god, I think we were at the top of a hill and then like a really steep hill. It was really windy and we wanted to go to a cafe, but there wasn't any nearby. So I think instead what we did is he just cooked at the top of the hill. Then we drove around for a bit. I had my Tic Tacs, and then when we got back we had a milk strawberry straw. Milk flavoured straw, is that right? Yes. Okay, so obviously I didn't know what else to write about, so I thought I'd just write about that. I've never had those before and they're quite nice. We then went to bed. It was really windy tonight, not because of Ella's farting, but it was really windy. Oh dear. The caravan was shaking and the door opened by itself. Oh, I don't remember that. So the caravan was obviously shaking and I'm not sure, are we still at the campsite? I think we are, yeah. And obviously it was very windy and I think the caravan door must have just opened by itself, which is quite creepy really. Okay, so the next day, leaving the campsite. So now we're leaving this particular campsite. Today before we left the campsite, we decided to go for a 5-hour walk. Now, back then that's quite long for me, but now a 5-hour walk is quite short. I thought it sounded a bit long, but we'd be all right. We wasn't. The wind was so powerful it blew the rain on us like a thunderstorm stroke tornado. Not as hard as that, I'm just going to say it's not going to be a tornado. I would have made it, but Ella got too tired, so we came back. So obviously we were going, I remember this now, Ella got too tired, so we decided to come back, but I knew that I would have made it anyway. Then we got to the caravan and took it. Then we got the caravan and took it to a gift shop where I bought some stuff. So obviously I wanted to find a gift shop so that I could buy my family some things and bring it back from New Zealand. Looking back now, I wish I'd bought better things and I wish I'd bought more, because you know, you go to New Zealand, you want to get some good things. So I wish I'd bought more. Later on we stopped off at a stop-off point. Hang on. Oh sorry, yeah, and we went for a drive around a volcano. I think I can remember that now. I think I remember seeing the patterns on the volcano and thinking, like, that looks cool. Then we went in a campsite opposite us. So then we went on a separate campsite. There was a big lake. So at the stop-off point that we stopped off at, there was a big lake. And opposite that lake, there was a campsite. I specifically remember that campsite now, actually, and the stop-off point. I thought, because in England, when you stop off at a lay-by on a motorway, it's like just a little sideway, but when you stopped off here it was like a massive lake and it looked really good. Then we arrived, a black fluffy dog greeted us with a doggy hug. Okay, I can remember that now. Then we picked a spot and it was really warm. That sounds like I picked a spot, but I didn't actually. Then we picked a place and it was really warm and sunny, so we stopped and had some tea. For tea we had sweet corn mash and onions, so slightly random but okay. Earlier for lunch, all we had was a tomato and a bit of Parma ham. So when we was on the walk, I remember that all we had for lunch was a little bit of Parma ham and one tomato. And I was like, okay, going on a diet, fair enough. And then later on that day we went to bed. So this is a separate campsite. Within the space of 2 days, we've gone from one campsite to the other because obviously we're traveling around. So the next day, leaving and arriving at a campsite. So obviously we leave in that campsite today and then we're going to arrive at a third campsite. So today we woke up, Uncle Shane went to have a shower this morning whilst we got changed, and when he came back he made some pancakes and we ate them. So that's quite nice, I love pancakes. I had treacle on my pancake. After that, me and Ella had a shower. Guess what? You have to pay 50p in New Zealand money for 6 minutes in the shower, and that's approximately 25p. So basically you had to pay $50. Actually, I don't know what it is in pence for New Zealand, but okay. And we had to pay that. And after the shower, we got going. We drove around for a bit, but we got lost. So we just went to a campsite. So I think we were driving around. We got a little bit lost. Wasn't too sure where we were going because, you know, you're just touring around. So we then decided to stop off at another campsite. Before we got to the campsite, we went to this waterfall and the water was boiling. So it's quite strange because in New Zealand they have thermal springs, which means that the water in the waterfall is sort of naturally heated by the earth. So it's really strange to put your feet into such hot water when it's natural rather than like heated. It was actually so warm that I wouldn't want to get in it. I think Shane did get in it. My uncle did get in it though. Literally steam was coming off of it. Then we left and went to a caravan site. We had a bit of lunch and we had sweet corn, Parma ham, bread, cheese and tomatoes. Then we chilled for the rest of the day. We are right next to a lake where we have parked next to. It's really nice and sunny, and the site didn't cost anything because it was free. This was actually one of the nicest campsites that we stayed at overall. There wasn't any facilities, it was completely free. It was just park your caravan up and stay there. There was a nice lake. I remember me and Ella went to feed the ducks. In fact, I think I go on to talk about that now. Yeah, it says there are loads of ducks as well. One is evil and I don't like it. It probably just looked at me weirdly or something, I don't know. And there was a skinny cat that came to us and we gave it some steak. Aww. I think it came up to our caravan and we gave it some steak. We must have been cooking steak. We don't know where it came from though. Then a dog came to us from another van. It was a Jack Russell. So now we're handing out steak to this cat and then suddenly a dog comes over wanting some. And it was so cute. I usually am scared of dogs, but I don't think I was scared of that one. Later we had some tea. We had steak, mash and onions with some ketchup. And then we did some algebra, which is maths. Obviously, I don't know why I had to put brackets maths because I do A-level maths now. It's not like I'm going to forget what that is. With Shane, and then we went to bed. So I remember actually doing that. He was like helping Ella with some maths because she's a couple of years older than me. The next day, leaving the site and going to Doug and Jean's. So if you remember from before, I went to Doug and Jean's house, my family member's house where they had a farm and we were herding cows. If you remember from what I mentioned in probably the first one or the second New Zealand Diary, number 2, and we're about to go there again. So I'm not going to read that now because I'm conscious of time, but I will read that in my 5th instalment. I absolutely love reading about my New Zealand diaries. It's one of my favourite things and videos to film because I honestly forget so much and just going through it reminds me of it. So if you want to see what we get up to at the farm again, because honestly that was one of the best experiences of my life at the farm in New Zealand, then please stay tuned for the next updated version and I will see you in my next video. Remember to give it a thumbs up and check out the other ones if you haven't seen them. Be a bit of a random order though.